Feel free to check out my TeePublic after the video, and support me on Patreon. Watch till the end of the video for more. I'm sure that we can all agree lost media really sucks. In some cases, lost media can occur when a producer, distributor, and what have you place restrictions on a sort of media that keeps it from ever being seen, but most of the time it's commonly associated with very poor management, and other times things that are beyond anyone's control. This is especially the case for early Japanese cinema, where a vast majority of silent era films have become lost to time and only exist through images or old newspaper articles. And there are multiple reasons for this, whether it be the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake, the fire bombings during World War II, the nuclear bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and simply poor management of the films. Because little did people know at the time, film negatives are sensitive and must be handled very carefully. But thankfully there are a few Japanese silent films that managed to survive, especially after being thought to have been lost. And this was the case for a 1926 psychological drama feature known as A Page of Madness.
The jack-o'-lantern.
A Page of Madness was thought to have been lost for 45 years until director Teinosuke Kinugasa rediscovered a copy of the film in his storehouse in 1971. Now everyone has the pleasure to experience what some film historians believe to be the very first existing tokusatsu film. A debatable claim admittedly, but considering how many films were lost to time, it's probably fair to make that assessment. Teinosuke Kinugasa is considered one of Japan's earliest pioneering filmmakers, in the sense that he was one of the first Japanese film directors. Many international audiences may know him for his 1953 period drama Gate of Hell. A Page of Madness was based on a short story by renowned novelist Yasunari Kawabata, and would be produced by the New Sensational Film League, which was a collective effort of artists looking to further push filmmaking in Japan, Kinugasa included. And one of these artists was beloved special effects filmmaker Eiji Tsuburaya, who I'm sure needs no introduction, as he would work on A Page of Madness as an assistant cinematographer under Kohei Sugiyama. In preparation for writing the script, Kinugasa actually visited Matsuzawa Hospital in Tokyo and incorporated what he experienced from the psychiatric hospital into the screenplay. A Page of Madness was also made to correspond with the rise of European avant-garde cinema at the time, with films like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, directed by Robert Wiene, and is hailed as one of the greatest Japanese films ever made, which is ironic because the film wasn't very successful upon release, due to it technically being an indie production by a studio that was founded by Kinugasa, as well as Riichi Yokomitsu. Thus, it was really hard for it to get screened anywhere. A 1926 indie film almost sounds unheard of if you think about it. The film opens in an asylum during a rainstorm, where we see all the patients through the perspective of a janitor who works there. The janitor is played by Masao Ino, who played a major part in contributing to the early developments of Japanese filmmaking. The next day, his daughter, played by Ayako Iijima, winds up visiting the asylum and sees him. It turns out her mother, played by Yoshie Nakagawa, is an inmate at the asylum due to having to endure psychological damage from her husband's abusive behavior when he was a sailor. Because of this, her husband decided to become a janitor at the asylum as a means to support her. The janitor's daughter tells him that she plans to marry soon, but he fears that her mother's mental illness may possibly be hereditary as well, as it could potentially become a burden on her new family. Now the janitor must do everything he can to ensure that his family is okay, all while having to help with the patients. Likely due to its age, the film has a very surreal and unsettling atmosphere. We see the inmates go about their day as we see how the people running the asylum tend to them, while also focusing on the internal struggle with the janitor. This results in an experience that comes off as eerie and just creepy. Part of this is how A Page of Madness is one of the earliest films to depict mental illness, and that alone is a very sensitive topic to discuss considering how very real it is. And thus, the characters in this film feel very believable because they're all expressing themselves in ways that are due to various forms of trauma. Additionally, there's all the strange visuals that come off as being very experimental as different kinds of filters and effects are being incorporated. At times, it feels like the footage is sped up, resulting in scenes feeling uneasy. One scene that comes to mind is when a huge fight breaks out in the asylum, and it's honestly not comfortable to watch, knowing what these people are going through. And perhaps you could say this is a testament to the film's nature of being a silent film, having to solely rely on visuals, body language, and facial expressions to tell its story. Though I gotta say, the lighting in this film is immaculate. Granted, this film is over 95 years old, but the way the lighting is utilized really helps with the film's surreal, ghastly, and dreamlike aesthetic. And on top of that, there's the aforementioned camera techniques. Even back then, Eiji Tsuburaya was a pioneer. Then there's the scene where everyone's wearing no masks, which is easily the most iconic portion of the film and is what people normally think of when it comes to A Page of Madness. Most notably, the dancing girl played by Eiko Minami. Minami grew up with a love for theater and dancing, and went on to become a skilled dancer and instructor. She was only 17 years old when A Page of Madness was shot, and it's one of her 2 only acting credits. Although, after quitting acting to pursue dancing, she eventually disappeared from the spotlight. To this day, her whereabouts are unknown, and it is believed that she distanced herself from the entertainment industry to live a regular life. When it comes to the film's other stars, you have Misao Seki as the head doctor, as well as Minoru Takase and Kyosuke Takamatsu as patients. The latter later appeared in Kihachi Okamoto's Sword of Doom. As of now, A Page of Madness is widely available to view, and is even available on Blu-ray in HD, and with a newly composed musical score for the movie by the Alloy Orchestra, and let me tell you, it really makes the film insanely eerie to watch. And with that said, if you want to have a good scary time with the lights off, with nothing but the lights and sounds of your television screen, definitely check out A Page of Madness. But what do you guys think? Have you seen A Page of Madness? Drop a comment below, and I want to give a very special shout out to my channel members and my supporters on Patreon. So if you like what you see, then consider supporting the channel with the link in the description, where for at least a single $1 you can get access to my Discord server, and you can also unlock other perks like early access to videos and exclusive content. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and this is TitanGoji, signing off.
The jack-o'-lantern